Bagpipes, bagpipes. Such elation. 29 pipers tuning up. I think they were in a train station. That kid with the lyre, he's got to go. Oh, look, it's Christian. Spitting fire and audio. So Christian Henson shared a challenge to turn that into an instrument. So here we are in Isotope Iris. Let's take a listen. This is crazy. Got horses. Somebody's going woo 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 woo. Okay, so let's grab onto the fundamental with this magic wand and double click, and boom, we have our drones all isolated by themselves. Cool. All right, now let's grab onto the chanter. There we go. So one problem is that what I pulled out of the larger sample is really a small piece of the sound of the chanters, and I need to rebuild something that is not only as timbrally complex as a chanter, but also as powerful as the sound of 29 bagpipes. That's going to be tough. So here I've loaded up the sound of a bagpipe chanter in order to point something out. Here we have our fundamental, and then we have a lot of harmonics, and they're consistently and tightly spaced. This is actually atypical for woodwind instruments. This looks a lot more like a string instrument. So this is a really good reference for checking out different spectrograms of different instruments and getting a feel for different sounds. So here in the woodwind section, if we look at the French oboe, and then if we compare it to the Highland bagpipes chanter, you can see it's a huge difference. Fortunately, I have some good tools for this job. Varnish and sandpaper are like a metaphor for our process of using distortion and filtering. With each application of distortion, we add harmonics, and with filters, we take away what we don't need. Just like in building coats of varnish that bring out the detail of the wood grain and the luster, we'll build this sound up, little by little. So I just put these all together, did some crossfades so I'd have nice long loops. All right, let's get out of here. Boom! We're out of the box. So every time we come out and then back into the computer, we're going to go through this DI, which is adding a little bit of distortion, and this preamp, which is adding just a tiny bit of distortion as well. So here's a fixed filter bank I built, designed by Yves Sousson, based on the Moog 914. It's really good for recreating the complex resonances of acoustic instruments. Here you can see the even and odd bandpass filters, and when combined together, we get something like this. So this gets us a good bit of the way there, but I really still feel like I'm missing something. What's this? What's this? A bag of pipes? So I rigged up this little amp driving this little speaker, and it's going into the pipe. It's going through a bend, so we're not getting as much direct sound. And then I'm picking it up with these old ribbon mics from the 40s from England. Didn't we already sort of do this with the bandpass filters? Yes, we did. We're doing it more. And furthermore, with irophones, the resonant cavity and the selection of the note are one and the same, as opposed to, say, a string instrument where the vibrating string and the resonant cavity are two different things. So we've left any pretense of making something realistic behind. All right, so we're going from the fixed filter bank into the pipes, into a Casio SK1 sampler, and then back out again. I played it back at every key, and then just picked the best sounding one to continue. Then I went into this delay, which has a vibrato and another delay in its feedback loop, so you can play with the nested feedback loops and also the modulation, and as it goes on it gets crazier and crazier, so we can get some evolving action going. And then it went back into the SK1 sampler, maybe twice, I don't know. And then the chanters went back into this pipe. I set that up as a little tap, and it keeps going, and it comes out through this mic. From there it goes into a DIY Federal limiter, into a DIY tape sim, into a DIY Pultec, then a spring reverb, and a DVX 160 VU DIY compressor. So let's check it out. These are the drones. All right, let's check out the chanters. It says to use the mod wheel. Let's see what happens. Whoa, so that's going through the pipes. Sounds kind of like a synthy choir sound. Let's go back down. And we got our bass sound back. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching.